Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. Welcome to Media Day for the BSTV UK Clio Cup, and welcome to Lime Rock Park. I'm Clyde Whiting, and I will be failing miserably on the cameras tonight. But joining me in the booth for some fantastic commentary, we hope, is Mr. Wobbly Kneecaps. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Really looking forward to this one. Clio Cup cars. It's been a blast driving them in the last week 13. Haven't got around to drive it anymore, but on Lime Rock Park, it's gonna be great. It's the field is small, but it's a media day, and we're gonna looking forward to like a full season of just intense racing and no different cars, no people moaning about this car is faster on the straight, just pure talented grip, you know.
I can't disagree with you. I am really looking forward to this. It's been a while in the making. We've struggled to find the time to actually put it together. But finally we got there. We've got a season together. We've got a 10-week season coming up every Friday night. I'm sure the grid is going to grow, especially once people see how good the racing can be in a single make series where, there's not a lot to change on the setups in this car, and it's purely going to be down to driver skill, Wobbly.
It's gonna be a real cool car to drive. As you already mentioned, tweaking the car, changing the setup. There are like 6 settings you can change, and there's probably one setting which is like perfect. And I'm looking at the names we got now. We got in the league, at least we got in the media day today. It's like Jimmy Wilson, always there, always spot on. Always like in the middle ground, like at the top middle of the track. Let's say we got a top 5, he's on the top 6. Looking at another name, Johnny Brandon, a real quick car race driver, V8's multiple champion, I think like 3 times, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I usually dock at least 1 or 2 championships from him.
Okay, let's just keep that, well, a half a championship then. Rob Fan, we show us there. Good to see. Adam is not that good, but well, it's fun to have him in as well. We got JB, also amazing TCR driver. Had some great battles this year with him. Of this season, last season. Sam Busing apparently got out of retirement somewhere, and we also got Scott Malcolm and Stefan Gobo. And Gobo is the kind of driver, he's gonna love this car. It's a stock car. It's a car with completely reliant on mechanical grip. All the German cars are relying on mechanical grip. So he's gonna be, I think, my money for today, media day, I'm just gonna call it Stefan Gobo. He's gonna make it. He's going to make it happen.
Do you know what? Stefan is an interesting story, isn't he? Because he was prolific when we did the TCR and GT4s together. And then when the interest sort of waned in the GT4s and we switched that over to purely TCR, he switched from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive. And he's got on surprisingly well with it. And then I haven't had the pleasure of driving this car, not in the sim. I've driven it in real life, and it was an absolute blast. You could just throw it about, and it stuck like glue. But there was a limit. And you found the limit fairly quickly. So I'm hoping and praying that they've done a really good job on modelling this car, the physics of the car, and how it handles, and that's going to give us that absolutely fantastic racing. But like you say, just looking down the grid tonight, although there's only 8 cars on the track, the win can come from absolutely anywhere. We know Johnny Brandon's quick. Jamie Wilson, if he fits with the car, we know he's going to be right up there.
Yeah,
Stefan,
absolutely.
we've spoken about. JB just gets better and better every time he races. Scott, I've seen Scott have fantastic races. I've seen Scott have miserable races. So let's hope it's the former and not the latter. Sam Boozin, quite rightly you say, coming out of retirement, but on his day is a quick driver. Rob Venn is another one. He does well in whatever car he drives. He's a steady Eddie. He's never gonna really light the timing tower up, but he's going to be somewhere or near or thereabouts at the end. And then Adam Wright, we know he moans and he whinges and he complains and it's too windy and his legs are too white and all the other excuses he comes up with for not winning. But
a lot of them, yeah.
On his day, we've seen it, especially in the V8s. He's one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I think if he, obviously, I always, if I got a chance to bust Adam's balls, I would do it. I'll complain about him, I'll moan about him, but in the end, he's a fairly good driver. Don't tell him I said that. It's annoying because he's quick in a car, he's good in a car. He's not the best, but he's always there, and he's a bit like Gary. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but if you make a mistake, they will pick that spot from you. He's just a stable, all-round racing driver. Smart guy. Not smart, but smart racer.
I wouldn't. It's not smart in the brains department, but maybe behind the wheel of a car department. New series. Very, very simple format. It's a 15-minute qualifying session, followed by a 20-minute race. There'll then be a 10-minute break in between for drivers to disappear and have a foggy or whatever they need to do. And then it's going to be a full reverse tonight because normally it will be a reverse top 8 for the second 20-minute race. We've got a lot of very decent tracks coming up. This series is heavily based around the UK tracks, but there are 2 flyaway races. And then hopefully we get more drivers and we progress this as it goes on. But currently coming up to the 10-minute mark in qualifying and no real surprise there, Wobbly, that Johnny Brandon sits top of the pile, but only by a 10th.
Yeah, Johnny Brandon on top of the pile. A 10th, as you mentioned. I think that the car and the tires, they do get better as you drive them, a bit like the TCR. They heat up a bit quicker though, like 1 lap in and the second lap is instantly quicker. But I feel like now Jamie just did a really good time as well. So a 10th in qualifying where you give all out, you use all the track, take all the risks you can. That's not going to be a 10th in the race. In the race, it's going to be half a 10th. It's going to be close. It's going to be almost like a traffic jam for the first 4 or 5 positions. Even though we only have 8 cars, maybe it's going to be an 8-car traffic jam. We don't know.
Before we came on air, you were saying that these cars give off quite a lot of tow, and some places, some tracks, some cars, it can be difficult to overtake. But with that tow, you use it in the right place, and that's how you're going to get your positions.
Yeah, it's like a brick moving through the air. I can vouch for this because I own a Renault Clio and I own a Renault Clio Estate, and it's a brick. The aerodynamic is just horrendous. And once you're behind a Clio, you can instantly go like 16 kilometers faster. It's almost like a DRS.
It's quite a square car, isn't it? So even though it's a small hot hatch, as we would call it in the UK, it punches a fairly big hole in the air, and you get into that, and it's going to be quite interesting. I'm going to find the button, he says, there. And just going to see what sort of speed these cars are getting up to. I would guess that they're definitely going to break the 100 miles an hour. Although they do look a little bit pedestrian, but I suppose behind the wheel. Let's go on board with Jamie. Even though I've got my glasses on, I can't see a thing.
He topped out at 196. kilometers an hour.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
And that seems about right, but that's still a fairly high speed. There are not many road cars who can actually get to 200 at the moment. It's all 180 and then they stop.
Yeah. Just watching Jamie's on board at the moment. He doesn't seem to be, should we say, fighting the car. This bit can be very tricky through the chicane. Looks like there's a bit of understeer in that car there, wobbly.
Yeah, so if you turn the wheel too fast, you obviously get the understeer because it's the front wheel car drive. And what the car does is, weirdly enough, when the tires are colder, you can't hold the wheel completely straight. It just lingers from left to right. It's weird. And I don't know why it does that, but I know it does. So in the first couple of laps, you'll see the cars moving from side to side a little bit on the straight. And it almost, as much as it seems like a defensive move. Oh, you see Jimmy moving into the corner, by the way, and instantly counter-steering.
Exactly, yes.
And he's just pushing the rear, and he's trying to get that slip angle in the right position. And the rear wants to step out, the front wheels, they keep gripping up, and it's a real fun car to drive. It's not a TCR. It definitely drives different than a TCR, but it has its moments where it's similar.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Evening to Gary, Tyler, Alex, all on the chat. Tyler is saying front wheel drive should be illegal. I actually love driving front wheel drive cars. I don't know why. I know the argument about, the front wheels are doing the driving and the steering and they can't do both, but there's a knack to driving a front wheel drive car, and I think being I'll be nice to myself and say a driver of lesser talent, when things go wrong, front wheel drive cars usually are a bit more forgiving and you can save a lot of blushes.
Yeah, so if you start sliding, well, it's a bit different in the Clio because you have less power. There's less power you can apply on the wheels. So like in a TCR, you go sideways, you instantly hit the throttle, and it just tries to snap back. The Clio is a little bit different, but in general senses, at certain speeds you can use the same tactics, the same how do you say that? You can use the same technique for it just to save it. And we just hopped over to the race session.
Yeah, so that was the session over. So your starting order for race one, I didn't actually see that happen. Jamie Wilson has got pole position with Johnny Brandon in second, Stefan Goebel third, Sam Booz in fourth, JB Dejoux in fifth, Scott Malcolm in sixth, Rob Venn in seventh, and what is going on with Adam Wright in eighth?
He's in his rightful position, Clive.
Yes. Yes, you could be right there.
And so, one thing I want to say real quick: don't argue with Americans about cars because they can't drive sticks.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that one. Right, so cars are forming up on the grid. I'm busily pressing lots of buttons to try and find a half decent angle, but I haven't yet. So this is what we're going to go with.
Jimmy's away. Johnny has a real good start on the left. He's already creeping up on him. And this is a right-hander, so Jamie is in the right position to hold this off. And like in the rear, the 16 and 17 wide, you see Adam trying to make his way through. And right behind that, you see it's on the screen. They're coming around the corner right now, like a whole pack. It's like a traffic jam.
Let's have a look at this. Yeah. Well,
Rob Van is blocking the whole thing.
The front two got away like a scolded rat, didn't they? They just flew, and the others were like, "Oh, right, the lights have gone green. We better go now."
It almost felt like they saw a traffic light and just easily went into the clutch and moved away. And look at how close is that Rob? No, that's Sam and Adam. So Adam's had a
stormer, yeah.
Yeah, had a blistering start. He already caught up free. And we got to keep in mind, it's a sprint race. The whole format of the season, it's 2 small sprint races. You don't have to practice ages for this, because a sprint race is 20 minutes, anything can happen. You practice for like half an hour, you turn up on a grid so you don't kill anyone and you want to be as fast as possible.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's pure sprint racing. There's no fuel calculation. Well, there is a fuel calculation, how much you want to put in, but there's no pit stop. There's nothing to worry about there. And I've just seen a pass for the lead. So let's go back and have a look at how Johnny Brandon got past Jamie Wilson.
Oh, that's just pure overspeed on the last corner, creeping up on his rear. He had a way better exit, and Jamie, he saw him coming, he moved a little bit, and then it's like, it's not gonna happen. And you see, by the way, you see Jamie moving from left to right, like a little bit, on the line. That was what I was talking about. Like that was the swirl. Like the tires are not warm, and it does weird things with that.
And there's also, by the looks of it, been a decent battle here with Adam and Sam going at it.
Yeah, so Sam and oh, that's close. That's almost blue on blue. Oh, did he get him? That's side by side. It's good racing on both of them.
He got his nose in front, but then Sam comes back and Adam has to give that one up.
Yeah, but he has a good run on the last corner. And now you see Jamie, how close he is to
somebody's
Johnny.
just gone in the background.
Ooh. That looked like Sam.
It did look like Sam. Let's just keep an eye on this just to see if it goes any further, and then we'll go back and have a look. No, I think Johnny's defended that. Let's see what we can find.
I can definitely tell. I'm already looking at the car of Sam, and that car doesn't look aerodynamic to me.
So that was... Oh, yeah, he's...
Oh, that's a good... Oh, good.
That was
good avoidance.
Good, yeah.
Oh, look at how the car looks, and he has to do like... I mean, it's a small lap, but he still has to do like the whole lap.
Yeah, you can see the sparks coming off of it. Yeah.
It's great. It's clipping through the ground, to be honest. He's grabbing from side to side. It's like he's moonwalking.
That's not a pretty look there for Sam.
That's what he usually sees when he wakes up and looks in the mirror.
Let's have a look at this battle here. This is Scott Malcolm and Stefan Goebel.
And as much as I like Stefan as a guy, he is a bit rowdy from time to time. And I want to say Scott is that as well. So those two next to each other, it's gonna be nuclear. It's gonna be fighting.
Yeah, and JB's—they're not losing JB, are they? He's in there with them.
He's like, I want that position. Look at me. I'm sixth position. I'm sixth. What in running? I don't know. It's sixth. It's a battle for 4.
Obviously, just going to go back and have a look at what happened to Adam Wright, because he was up there battling with Sam.
So they went side by side. First corner is a right-hander. Sam has the inside. Adam's taking the outside. A really good lap, but now he's gonna get chopped off. Yeah, and on the dirt.
Just had to straighten the car up, and that's what's dropped him back down the field. So
another feature about the Clio. It is a really sturdy car. I drove it into the wall in Monza, like 203 kilometers an hour. Got out without a scratch. Nothing going on. I didn't have a fast repair. No, nothing.
Well, that bodes well, to be honest, for the series. If they've built it strong.
Side by side, Stefan and Scott.
Yeah, he's still going. I think he's got it done this time. Scott's got a very late turn in there.
I think he saw that he lost that place and just steered wide, and good for him on keeping it on track, because he was already on the dirty part of the track of the corner. And now JB is all over him instantly. He's like, I want through as well. I feel like I have more pace.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a momentum car, isn't it? And as soon as you make a small mistake and lose some momentum, you're just going to get mugged from behind.
So I just had some inside information about Sam Houston's car, and the wheel wasn't properly on. At least after the repair, it wasn't. How I don't know if you can, but if you're able to share this like in the break, I'll send you the pic.
Okay, we'll have a look. So JB, let's go back to this battle up the front, because just a few seconds ago this happened.
Oh, you see Jamie moving in, and this is the draft I was talking about. You see him closing in. You just can't defend that.
Yeah.
Good move. Johnny leaves the room as well. Tries to cut back maybe on this corner.
Yeah,
oh no, he's just holding back.
I think Jamie's got that done, hasn't he? So yeah, what you were saying at the start of the show with the draft, we're seeing it very, very much in effect around here. Let's go on board with Johnny, and we'll follow him round for the lap and see what sort of a toe he gets down the back straight. It's not a very long lap.
Yeah, so going through the track, you want to take as much speed as possible. This small isn't straight. Until you approach the chicane, and on the right you see like the toilet stand. You brake at that point and try to cut over this curve a little bit, and you see Jamie doing that, Johnny doing that, and Jamie missed it, and that's why now there's a small opportunity for Johnny to get past him, getting on the curve, which can send you sideways. You can use that to get a little bit more turn in, but if you hit that too hard, you're gonna be sent off to the left, and there's no saving it. And just like last time, you see Jamie and Johnny, when they're following each other, it's easier to get through that corner. It's like almost the car grips up a little bit better. And we have the same situation, but Jamie is a stubborn guy to pass. And you see them, he's sticking his nose in. This is keeping it there because the other one is a left-hander. And it's going to be close because if you can keep it on the outside, then we got to go to the right again. And Jamie got it probably-ish. Yes, good fight though. Good battle.
To be honest, Jamie, I'm not saying none of the other drivers are good drivers, but Jamie is very, very clever at, if he knows he's not going to come out on top, he will yield and live to fight another day. If there's a sniff of defending, he will make that Clio as wide as a bus.
Yes. Yeah, I've been racing against Jamie for at least 2.5 years. In TCR, I'm a little bit quicker, but when I see Jamie in front of me, especially on the very first grids, you're like, oh shit, it's Jamie. I have to be aggressive on him, otherwise he's just gonna keep it. And he's clean, but it's always hard to get by. I remember this season, you remember the F4 season, like the Formula 4 one?
Oh, mate, that was mental, wasn't it?
Yeah, the one on Spa was it just keeps popping it back into my mind, and that's one of the cars. Yeah, I have to admit that Jamie. It's the first time like this car on an F4. Jamie was, and I think he was even quicker than me on that in the car. I just turned on the wheels a little bit, I got the tires working a little bit better. But that's one of the cars where you saw Jamie's true pace, and just like this, because Johnny is not a slouch to race against.
Yeah, so we started with 8 cars and we've got 3 battles, and literally this has just happened for 3rd place. Stefan Goebel and Rob Venn.
I always think, yeah, well, I'll elaborate later. That's a good move, deep on the braking, and Rob is...
Yeah.
Okay, so I think, this is my opinion about the way how Rob defends and drives. He should just keep it there. He lifted off. He's a gentleman, which is nice. But don't. Just butt heads.
and look at JB. He's we see him get up behind Scott Malcolm, and he's still there. He's not giving up on this.
No, it's good to drive slower cars. I always say slower cars gives better racing. Oh, gotta run.
Yeah, that was. I thought he was going down the right hand side. Switched to the left.
It's good though if you can keep it there. This is awesome. He has a better
Yeah,
line, I think.
this is.
Oh, that's a proper murder.
We'll look at
JB,
that.
why do you have to ruin all the leaks?
I don't know. To me it looked strange. I'm not going to see this again. Does Scott come across?
I think it's a situation. A bit of both. So Scott tried to get a good angle or a good run on the corner, which is fair enough. JB did the same, so they moved at the same position and hit, and they just ended it in tears. And it looks like Jamie's pulling away.
Yeah, he's not broke the toe. Obviously, there's only half a second. Just going back to that previous incident, I was literally, as they came together, I was about to say, this turn is really difficult and somebody is going to lose out. I didn't realise both of them were going to lose out, but it's media day. There's no points on the table. This is lock up from Jamie there. This is all about these guys having some fun in these cars before the season starts, and me making sure the knobs and bells and whistles and everything else are working, and hopefully I can find some more buttons. But yeah, it's all a bit of fun, and there's another race coming up. We're coming up to 13 minutes.
Scott and JB both came out of the pit at the same time.
Okay, let's have a look at that.
They took their fast repairs, but they switched positions though.
Yeah. So we'll come back to this battle if it starts brewing. So let's look at this one again, and let me play with some camera angles. He says, and then can't find them.
The first time I ever won a league race in BSTV was on Lime Rock.
Really?
It was me and Tao. That was a big mistake from Johnny. So it was on the TCR GT4 league. I was battling Tyler. I was driving the BMW. I didn't know anything about fuel saving, and then. And then like halfway through, I kind of was looking at my fuel calculator, which I didn't use. I was like, okay. I went into the pit. Tyler went to the pit. It's like, oh, I'm missing 3 liters. I'm 3 liters short. So I couldn't figure out the math. So I told my Google speaker to Avi, like my wife, come upstairs and tell me how much fuel I need to save.
That's cheating, I think. I think we should take that win away from you.
That's my first win ever in BSTV.
Jamie is certainly locking up brakes. We see some smoke there out the back of his car. It'll be interesting at the end of the evening when these guys come in for an interview. We'll try and get some more technical information out of them, like how well are these front tyres lasting in a 20-minute race. Especially that left front round here, wobbly, because it's a clockwise track. Some people have described it as an oval with a couple of kinks in it, but yeah, not many left-hand turns.
No, it's a typical. I don't want to call it a Mario Kart track because that will be not giving all the credits to how great Lime Rock actually is to drive. But it's definitely one of those tracks which is up there like Tsukuba, and where you just you feel like you have like 6 turns and 3 brake markers, and that's all you do. But once you get into a rhythm. Time flies, and you see it. They will probably acknowledge it to drive. It's like if we call them into the booth, like how was your race, and they're gonna tell us, especially Jamie and Johnny. They're gonna say that the time is just. I didn't even realize we were driving for 20 minutes.
Yeah, well,
It's
interesting.
that kind of track.
Yeah, Johnny's got right on the back of Jamie again. But I agree. I think this is a very fun track. I do like driving this track in a more powerful car. I love the crest after the chicane where you can get airborne.
Yes.
That's pretty good. But again, I agree with you. I do love these lower powered cars where it's all about technique, isn't it? We said it's a momentum car, but it's doing something with that momentum if you're behind, or keeping that momentum up if you're ahead. And this is what we're going to see play out in the final 3 and a bit minutes.
And the cars, we call them slow, as I mentioned. They still hit like 203, 206, 208, whatever on longer straights. But once you're in the car, it feels like a super quick car.
Yes.
Well, you're still, and again, you're still driving really quick. You can't do this with a normal road car. It's still a tuned car. Oh, Jamie is a little bit wide in that corner, and it's one opportunity for Johnny to stick his nose in. But he closed the door.
Let's watch it from Johnny's onboard.
He's taking a good look at Jamie's rear.
There's JB up in front. Scott Malcolm had to go back into the pit, so that battle was over before it began. Rest of the field a bit spread out, so we'll stick on this battle. Johnny's very quick through that chicane, and he's going to get this done, surely.
It's almost a similar situation as we had with JB and Scott now.
Yeah, they're going to rub.
This is good rubbing. And then, can they pull it off?
Oh, they did. But now can Johnny get in the slipstream and make that move into turn 1? I don't think he can.
No.
He's too far back on this lap.
So, was Barney waving the flag?
No, I think we're all right at the moment. Yeah, we're definitely all right. I think this will be the white flag when they come round this time.
Is Johnny gonna make one last lunge? Is he even able to? Because we saw that last lap Johnny was really quick through this section. But it might have been, and again he's real quick. He's just creeping up on him again. And he's gonna try the same move, and I think Jamie's gonna pick the outside. But now Johnny is gonna take a different tactic, maybe trying to get a good run on the last corner instead of sacrificing that one. And now he's got a good run again. Oh, super wide, he keeps it planted.
Don't want to be out there.
A little bit of mowing going on.
Okay, this will be the final lap.
You can see that he was dedicated. He was not lifting.
There was no chance that he was going to give that one up, was there? Absolutely no chance.
And now I'm curious, because he already knows he's quicker with the chicane.
Yeah, he does get a decent run off there, but Jamie's got well, compared with the last couple of laps, quite a big gap over Johnny here. Johnny good through the chicane again, although run a little bit wide there. This could be all over.
I think this is over. This gap is too big to close for the last 2 corners. So, is this Jamie's second win ever?
Yeah, but let's not count this one because it's media day.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, that's fine.
But, let's be fair, a win for Jamie Wilson in race 1 of media day, second for Johnny Brandon. And as you was talking there, I was just looking at the fastest laps, and it actually surprised me. Stefan Goebel.
Yeah, figured. Yeah. Yeah, he did it on lap 7, as it seems, and I'm curious about the lap times. If he can, Jamie. So yeah, they don't really fall off. Like compared to lap 3, which was Johnny's quickest lap, he only did the lap 19 was only 3/10 slower, and lap 16 was even just a tenth slower. So it seems that the tires don't really fall off.
Okay, so I'm trying to get some results up, but I'm not getting anything yet.
I'll keep on trying.
I should just keep pressing buttons until it shows.
It says hit results, but it just doesn't give any input.
There we go. So your race winner from the first race of Media Day is Jamie Wilson. We followed the battle all the way to the end. Johnny Brandon in second. Stefan Goebel got the third step of the podium. Rob Venn came home fourth. Adam Wright in fifth. JB Dejoux in sixth. Scott Malcolm in seventh. And Sam Boozin in eighth. So yeah, that I think straight away, Wobbly, that has whetted my appetite for some more cars on the grid, and I think we are definitely going to see some absolutely fantastic racing in this series.
Yeah, I think especially when the field grows a little bit, as we expected, like to 15, probably maybe 20, then we're gonna get some real action. And it's a car which lends itself to close driving, great racing, also setting up, set up an overtake instead of just placing the car behind someone and overtaking, because you can see that the draft is good in the cars, but somehow like Adam managed to get the outside, Johnny managed to get the outside on turn one. We saw JB getting the outside, and well, Scott and him collided though. But you can definitely drive a little bit off the line without that much without a big impact.
Yeah, and you know, I'm currently looking at the picture that Sam sent you of his wheel, and I am desperately going to try and get this into the broadcast. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing, but let's give it a go and see what happens. I think I need to do that. I need to do that. Oh, and I didn't want to do that. So
and just replying to Gary on chat. Yeah, well, we don't count anything else, Gary. We just say that he won his second race ever.
Yeah. Let's go for that.
And also to Ann Woodward, I see him in the chat replying on Jamie did a good job. Jamie definitely did a good job, and I just want to say to Ann, just tell him, well, just join the league as well, mate. It's great fun, especially because like the skill difference for the car. It's not a hard car to drive, and that will be all up for you, Ann, if it's not a hard car to drive.
I have no idea where that just went. It is on there.
So we have a complete reverse grid for the second race, which means that we're gonna have Scott Malcolm on pole. No, that's not true. Samuel Busing on pole. That's the first time he ever got pole. Then we got Scott Malcolm on second position, JV on third, Adam on fourth, Rob on fifth, and then Stefan on sixth, and then Johnny and Jamie on 7 and 8. I reckon that the pace that JB was showing and Adam was showing, and even Rob and Stefan, that Jamie and Johnny are gonna have a really hard time getting through.
You could be very, very correct with that.
And really wanted to race the Clio, but your wife didn't give you permission?
No, I think the trouble for Ant was it clashes with the official V8 that they're trying to get going on Friday evening.
Yes.
Okay. I need to do something to that, but I'm just going to try dragging it instead. And apologies for this, but I'm going to see if we can do it. This hopefully will be what was wrong with Sam Boozin's car. That looks like a bit of an oopsie. I'm sure that wheel is supposed to be somewhere else.
I mean, if you can't drive it, like it's almost like the wheel's like, nope, I'm not getting on a car with you again, Sam. Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
I've had a couple of laps and now I quit.
I'm a special wheel.
So I am really impressed with myself for being able to sort that out. Excellent.
Well, keep that in mind.
So yeah, right. So let's get back to tonight. So as you was rightly saying, we'll get the grid up for real once the session clicks over from this practice session. But Scott Malcolm is going to go off on pole. We know that. Sam Boozin is going to go off on pole. Yeah. We know that, which is probably why we're seeing him do a few laps here to try and get back into it. And we know race 1 winner Jamie Wilson is going to go off from last. Now, I'm going to be very, very interested in the start, because if I am, and I'm not clever enough to do this, the start was very, very weird from race 1. Jamie Wilson and Johnny Brandon shot off the line, and third backwards sort of seemed to sit there and then suddenly decide that they was going to go. So it'd be interesting to see if they all get off at the same speed this time.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting to see, because it almost felt like Adam and Jamie they just jumped at the start. Not Adam, Jamie. Adam, meant Jamie and Johnny. And they almost like jumped the start, and the rest was like, oh, the lights are green. The lights are green. Oh, I need to clutch a little bit. Oh, let's move on. Let's just start rolling. You know, it was weird.
It's very similar to some races that I've been in with braking points, where I've like sailed past a sign at full speed and gone, I recognise that sign. Oh yeah, that was my braking point, and then I'm dead.
Yeah. Do you remember the race where I just randomly joined the V8s and you were and I didn't practice, and I kept forgetting what my brake markers were because we did the 24 hours was the last time I drove it, and we did it in the GTB in the LMDH. So I started braking at certain points, and just with a V8 that doesn't work. And I kept forgetting that.
Yeah, and you know, I'm terrible for that sort of thing. Pete will back me up with this one. I can remember using shadows as braking points and then wondering why I was getting all of my braking wrong. And that was when iRacing went from like fixed shadows on the track to shadows that moved with the sun position.
Yeah. You have certain tracks you can actually get away with that if you just know what time it is. But there's definitely certain tracks where you like, for example, take the Nürburgring. That if you are relying on shadows there, then you're gonna hit the wall every corner.
Yeah, it was like, my braking point has been absolutely fine for 10 minutes. Why is it now wrong? And then it was pointed out to me what an idiot I was. But never mind. We're into the last minute of this qualifying session, practice warm-up session before race 2. Sam Boozin has spent most of the 10 minutes out on track, not always pointing in the correct direction. Rob Venn possibly has made some changes to his setup, and he's going to give that a go and see how that feels. Because Rob was running quite comfortable, wasn't he, in third place? But Stefan managed to drag him back and get past him.
Yeah, it looked like that Rob was driving around. I got a bit of a feeling that Rob wasn't really comfortable in the car. but he was still driving around on his own pace, and that's what Rob does, and he's good at that. Just get your own pace, find a spot where you're comfortable with, and then just keep driving instead of over pushing it and then hitting the wall.
Yes. And we sort of, we hope that, some drivers are going to take it serious and put lots of practice in, but hopefully this car can be a ride and drive if required. So
Yes.
your starting grid for race 2, Sam Boozing goes off on pole position, Scott Malcolm second, JB Dejoux third, Adam Wright in fourth, Rob Venn in fifth, Stefan Goebel sixth, Johnny Brandon in seventh, and Jamie Wilson goes off in eighth. And we are going to have a look. Once I get rid of that, let's go a little bit further up the grid and see what we can see from there. So, lights are about to come on. I'll let you call it, Wobbly.
Yeah, it seems like it's holding a little bit. And, let's see. It almost looked like a jump start. Who's that in the back? Is that Stefan?
That's Stefan, yeah.
Stefan was really quick off the line, and Johnny had a good start as well. And you see, somebody slid wide there, and I think that was Samuel. No, it's not Sam. I think that was JB, who went a little bit sideways through the first corner. You see that this is what we said. That the car, like the first 2 corners, it's tight, it's sketchy, but it's gonna be close because they're all on the pace. You see Johnny trying to get a move on the outside of the chicane, and he's holding back. I think that's smart to preserve his race. A little lock up for 7.
5, 6, 7 of the cars in that shot there.
And just a small lock up from Sam when entering the chicane. The tires, they do overheat quite severely if you lock this. Like all the tires do, but on the Clio I read a forum bit where they were explaining about how this works. And someone is really wide into the grass. Is that Stefan again?
Stefan, yeah. That is Stefan. Let's...
Sam seems to be flying.
Just stick with this for a minute and we'll go back. I don't think that was anything too major for Stefan. Let's have a quick look. I think it was just understeer on cold tyres, maybe.
He already was.
Or did he have to get out of it?
Oh, I think he got put off, to be honest, because the car in front of him moved a little bit.
Yeah, nothing major. Gets back on track.
Oh, JP! Oh, God, pile up What's going on there? Somebody locked up.
We're going to have to go back and see that, aren't we?
And that puts Scott and JB had to slow down because of that incident.
Brandon. I've got Johnny Brandon as definitely being involved in it, so let's have a look.
Oh, Johnny seems to be driving really slow as well.
JB. Oh, that was Rob that locked up. Johnny got into Adam. Yeah.
I think that Johnny's got the worst of it, though. I think that Johnny's steering is crooked. Johnny can't steer. I shouldn't be laughing, sorry, Johnny, but
he will eventually get to the pits. Yeah, that certainly looks a bit broken.
No, and he knows picking up the pace again, so it almost looked like his force feedback wasn't working properly.
So this is our closest battle at the moment. See if we can find a better angle to watch this one.
So that's still our first grid pole by guy, Samuel Busing, and second place Scott Malcolm behind him. They got clean out of that incident where Stefan had a real troubles. Let's just call it troubles, hitting the grass in the first lap. But he came through that chicane cleanly and is now back up to third.
Yeah, and Stefan Goebel again is holding the fastest lap with a sub 1 minute.
Yeah, it looks like a good lap. I do feel like the temperatures have been rising a little bit, so that would explain why it's now a 59.8, why he did a 59.6 last race.
Yes. So Jamie Wilson definitely having a look at Adam Wright. Now Adam Wright had a very lonely race one after disappearing into the undergrowth.
Yeah. Is that a piece of bumper on the track? Did you see that?
Yeah,
Did they change that?
could have come off of Sam. He's been shedding parts like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a look at this. No, that's a rubbish view. Let's have a look from it on board with Jamie as he tries to get past. Adam's not easy to pass.
No, Adam is not easy to pass, but he's still he's been quite under pace in TCR, but he's still a little bit new to front wheel cars.
Oh!
So he's hitting that curve like this. There's no tomorrow.
This is going to be a done deal, surely.
Side by side again, same situation. You get a better run.
Yeah.
They touch a little bit, which is fine.
Yeah, but this is the difficult one.
You see JBS Scott easily done.
That was brave by Adam. I've got to give that to Adam. And he's going to defend into turn one. Jamie's going to go and try around the outside, and if he can hold it there, it's the inside for the next turn.
I think I've never seen an outside move there. That's a late line side. Oh man, that's the only bit where you can do it.
Jamie Wilson trying everything.
Every car in the book trying to undercut him now on the right, probably towards the chicane, or is he gonna tuck in? He's trying to force Adam in defending lines where he can get a better exit.
Adam is taking so much of them curbs.
And there's also a lot of pressure from Stefan Goebel on Scott as well.
That looks
done.
Jamie's definitely got his nose in front, but can he hold it?
Ooh.
It's again, I think that race. It's a drag race.
Oh, but then Jamie's in the favor because we've seen Adam's fatigue.
Yeah, let's. And
now Rob and Jimmy are like, we take this position.
Right,
that's fine.
Let's switch to this battle then, because this has been going on for a little while.
Yeah, you can see. I think that if Stefan, if he's able to clear Scott within the next 5 minutes, he's gonna be up the ass of Sam, and he's gonna go for the win.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think Scott is Sam's biggest ally here. The longer he holds up Stefan, the better it is for Sam.
And the tricky bit is, you get a lot of laps in on Lime Rock, but the tricky bit is it's only 20 minutes, so you have to get the move done.
I agree. Yeah, there certainly won't be any patience, will there? It's every opportunity you've got to try and maximise.
And if you look at when Stefan first joined the leagues, he was 10th aggressive from time to time, where he's as I mentioned this in the last race, these two together, that's gonna be nuclear. I think they're gonna attract each other. They're gonna hit and they're gonna butt heads.
Yeah, you could be right. Although I get what you're saying. I do think as a racer, and I know Stefan's not a youngster, but he's grown up a lot.
Yes.
Behind the wheel of a car.
Yes.
You know, we've seen Stefan dive bombs from a different track. Let alone a different corner. But now he's a lot more thoughtful. You watch him, and he's got that knack that all good drivers have got, where you set rather than going, I can probably get half of my headlight in that gap. I'm going for it. It doesn't matter what happens. He will actually set drivers up. Work out where he's quicker, work out where he gets a better run, and like I say, might take him a few laps, but he will set the driver up in front for a fall. And I mean that in a nice way.
Yeah, I think that explanation that he, compared to a couple of seasons ago, he calmed down. He's still aggressive, but he calmed down compared to what he used to do, and I think that's a good thing because now he's a good guy to race against. It's a blast. I've been in incidents with him, but I also due to the fact that I'm just stubborn. But I think that him and Scott, I still think they are similar, but I do think that Stefan has more racecraft, so he's gonna overtake him eventually.
Yeah, something that just caught my eye. These three have managed to find themselves on the track. Obviously, Johnny a few laps down, but it's media day, so these guys are not going to worry at all about him racing them hard.
No, that's fine. That's just media day about.
Yeah, Stefan into the 59.5s with the toe. Oh!
No!
Oh, is Johnny going to hold it? No!
And then he goes into the inside. That's a smart move, no. Jamie is doing running cross in the rear.
Jamie drifted round the back there.
And now Johnny's waiting. I think he wants to fight with
and I
Jamie.
think Adam is then going to wait for the pair of them so it can carry on. So let's go back to this.
Oh, now he's got a good run. And he's in the toe from Sam. But if I was Sam, I would stick to the right just to get Scott in tow.
Yeah, Sam's got no need to defend.
Oh, that's a late dive. Oh.
Sam needs to be making hay while the sun shines, as they say.
Yes.
He'll want to see these two side by side in his rearview mirror because that's his chance to get away. We're halfway through. He's still got another 10 minutes.
Yeah, and Adam, Jamie, and Johnny are running again. They're doing the same thing. They're like 3 wide through the first corner. But
Oh,
I think he got him. This is the good run. We've seen him as Adam.
Oh, he has, yeah. I honestly thought Scott may have been able to hold that. So, this is probably what Sam didn't want to see.
I think that Scott now was the smarter guy compared to what did last race. I think he lifted. He saw he didn't want to end up in the same situation, so he held back a little bit there.
So let's just see what's going on here. Like we didn't already know what was going on here. We'll keep an eye on that gap at the front.
Johnny apparently really likes the grass on the left side there. Oh!
Yeah, there was a gap, there wasn't a gap, there was a gap, there wasn't a gap.
Is he able to stick it through? And now Jamie, yeah, this is good racing though. And this is what you want to see. Okay, this isn't for the top position. Yes, Johnny is 2 laps behind or a lap behind, whatever. It's still good fun.
Yeah, as we say, media day. There's no points on the table. If it was a normal race, you would think Adam and Jamie would be slightly annoyed that Johnny's racing them, being 4 laps down. Oh, 4 wheels in the air for Jamie.
That's a slowdown.
But yeah, they're going to be absolutely loving this. Right.
Definitely, yeah.
We're going to have to switch back to this front battle because Stefan is now all over the back of Sam. Almost 13 minutes on the clock.
And you can see the difference. It's a good crossback, and I
Sam,
think he got him. I think he's in the clear.
Totally wrong, didn't he?
Is he in the clear before the
No, he's recovered. He's recovered.
That's weird. It looked like that Stefan had so much more overspeed coming out of that chicane.
Right, I'll tell you what. Let's watch this from Scott's car.
You still see the car swerving from left to right a little bit. It's weird. The tires are weird.
I had a road car that used to do that.
Yeah, it's like they're not aligned properly. Because I did a race on Monza, and I wasn't really paying attention. I ended up from the left to the right and the straight the whole time. And I watched I did save the replay back then, and then you saw like a line of 20 cars doing the same thing, like from left to right on the straight. Oh, and now this is a proper view. You can say about the French what you want, but the Clios are a blast.
Yeah, many moons ago on R Factor 2, myself and Pete were involved in helping to run a Clio Cup League, and I'm not joking, it was some of the best racing that I've ever been involved in. As we see, Scott Malcolm is now trying to get back at Stefan.
That's brave to keep it there. And now he's in the good again.
Yeah, Sam's going to be liking that.
Johnny had a little excursion again, by the way. They're back together now, but he had a little excursion.
Trying some different camera views, but they're not particularly good round here.
No, these are the Lime Rock is particularly bad because they didn't redo the cameras.
Right, let's have a quick look at what's going on with this lot. They're still at it.
Yeah, so Johnny, he had been dropped because he had the excursion again, and then the others waited again.
Right, back to this because it's on again. Sam's in full defensive mode.
That's real defensive. I think he overdid it.
Yeah, this is where if Stefan can hold it, if he
yes.
can hold it, I think he has, hasn't he?
But Sam is not giving up yet. Now Stefan cleared him.
Yeah.
I think that Sam overdid it on the defense because he didn't need to go that far.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Although, is this going to be one of those series and one of those tracks where you don't want to be leading on the last lap?
We know Sam, he's not that smart. And now I'm curious if Scott can also take advantage of the fact that he might feel like he's quicker than Sam. So is he gonna try and get that second position, or is he just gonna think, oh, I'll even on media day, it's a podium, you know? And then Sam was a little bit scruffy on that entry, and Scott passed him.
He paid the price for that, didn't he? I was literally about to say before that happened that is Scott better off just staying with them and hoping that it's media day and they have a little accident. But that little mistake from Sam has let Stefan disappear up the road a little bit. So while they've stretched out, let's just go back here because this has given us some fantastic racing. They seem to be taking it in turns to lead this little trio.
Yes, I think that I don't think that for the top runners that Scott and Sam have the pace Stefan is producing at the moment, at least for this race. He's definitely the quickest of the bunch. This specific sprint race.
Yeah, obviously we have still got JB Dejoux in the race. He's in 5th. But there's a big gap behind and a big gap in front. In front of him in 4th is Rob Venn, still running. This is the gap up the front. You can see Stefan running away. So Sam is desperately trying to get back to Scott to see if he can do anything. So I'll keep an eye on that gap whilst we see what's going on back here. These two were the top boys in race 1 and went at it from start to finish.
And if I look at this battle, they've all been waiting up for each other the whole time. But just looking at the pure pace that Johnny and Jamie are producing, I feel like Adam is really having... Ooh, that's a lock up from Jamie. I think that Adam is really having to push to keep up with them.
Adam seemed to straight line that chicane a little bit. He obviously didn't because he's come out of it the other side without a slowdown. Right, let's see what Sam's doing.
I'll tell you one thing about the car which I don't really like is the fact that, and I told you this before the broadcast started, like you have to shift earlier than you think.
Yeah.
But So it's all about that 5,600, 5,700 RPM where you want to shift. But if you listen to the engine sound, you're like, that's weird. So you feel like you're like really shifting too early.
Okay, white flag is out for Stefan Goebel and everybody behind him. So this looks like it's going to be Sam's last chance to get past Scott. Scott needs to do what he's been doing. Stick to his lines. Don't go too defensive. Don't make mistakes. And don't take too much of the curbs in the chicane.
And don't take this too much of the curb in the first corner. Well, he passed that already, but...
You can physically see the cars lose momentum when they get airborne here. But
that's a good run. He has a good run though.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be particularly tight.
Right.
He's trying to get a run on the outside, and we've seen this work. And I think he's a little bit offline though. And Scott is crossing in front of him, which is fair.
Apologies
because he didn't have
Stefan, but
oh, but he got a good run. Is this gonna be a sprint to the end? Oh, is he gonna make it? This is gonna be so super close. Oh, and Scott got it. Scott got it.
He did. Oh,
that was close. And even after 20 minutes, the gap was 32 thousandths of a second.
But a win for Stefan Goebel. Apologies to Stefan for not watching him cross the line and take that win. But that battle there was brewing and brewing nicely. These guys, no, everybody's getting across the line now. So although that wasn't for anything major and there was no points on the table, those guys had a bit of a blast there. Jamie's obviously off for a foggy. There must be a Portaloo round there somewhere.
Yeah, probably some hamburgers.
Sam boozing, just coming round on his cool down lap, the only car left on the track. But good fight there from Sam, to be honest, Wobbly.
Yes,
I thought once those two had got past him, he was, done and dusted, but he tried to have a go back.
He fought back, and that's the beauty of racing in general. You feel like you're a little bit off the pace, then somebody passes you, and you're like, oh, he takes a different line, and you learn from that, and then you're like, and suddenly gain a second or gain a tenth here and there, and you're back into the fight.
Okay.
I've seen some real good racing tonight. I'm pleased with the results.
Yeah, I must admit that that does bode well for the rest of the season. But your official result for race 2 is Stefan Goebel took home the win. Great drive from Scott Malcolm in second. Sam Boozin led for many, many laps but ended up third. Rob Venn in fourth, JB Dejoux in fifth, Jamie Wilson sixth, Adam Wright seventh, and Johnny Brandon in eighth. So let me see if I can do some magic with buttons, and I want to go back to the start of the race and then we'll get some people in. So let me get Discord up and let me get into the right place. And Sam Boozin is in the waiting room, Wobbly, so I'm going to bring him in and let you give him a good grilling whilst I sort through the rest of the buttons.
So, Sam, thank you. Bye.
Okay.
How are you, Sam? How was that race? How was the first race? Talk us through the way you took a less aerodynamic approach on the first race.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Adam went straight off the road in turn 1 just before that, was just behind me, and I love Adam so much, I went off the road myself. So it's pure karma. So, yeah, I paid for what I loved that.
Okay, fair enough. Because it looked like a hard impact. Second race, let's talk about that. That was way better. You were in front quite a bit. You seemed to have the pace to keep Scott behind you. Was there any particular plan, or was it just... I'll see what happened. Did you do any practice or just turn up and run and drive?
I booked the car yesterday before the race, and I just did the practice before the race. So absolutely no practice at all. I just went in to have some fun, and I saw Scott behind me. We had about the same pace, and I saw Stefan coming at him. So I was hoping they would battle for longer, so I could pick a bigger gap between Stefan and myself. Didn't work quite well, and then I ended up behind Stefan. I got caught up by the draft because there's still draft in these small things apparently. So I overshot turn 1 and Scott went through, but that means we had a good battle for the end of the race. So it was fun.
Yeah, me and Clive were mentioning this on stream as well because it feels like I've driven the Clio as well, and it's like a brick through the wall if you drive behind someone. There's a lot of draft in it. You mentioning that you actually overshot your brake marker actually, well, complements that. It says that. It looked like you were able to get a sprint race, like a drag race to the line. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, I was hoping for the side draft to be a bit stronger, and so I could just pop my front bumper in front of Scott, but didn't quite work well. But to be honest, it was so much fun. It's great. I think this is a good series. We're gonna have a lot of fun and new guys in the booth as well.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Good result. Unlucky that you didn't get the first win you ever had in BSTV, because I think you haven't won, right?
I have one, not in BSTV, but before BSTV.
So not in BSTV.
Yeah. No, not one.
No, okay. So you never had a win, and you cocked this one up as well.
Yep.
Oh, no, okay. Good job, mate. I thought you were gonna run away with it, to be honest, because like there was this huge scrabble behind you in the chicane where Rob Van he locked up his tires, killed 3 guys, and then I thought like, well, Sam is gonna bring this home, but yeah, it wasn't meant to be, Sam, but still a good result.
Yeah, without Jamie and Johnny, I had a shot, but Stefan was too fast.
Stefan looked particularly quick, yeah. Yeah, that's what we mentioned as well before the race. Well, congratulations on your result anyway, 3rd place, Media Day. Looking forward to see you in the season, mate.
Thank you.
Any shout-outs?
BSTV, Clyde, and Pete, they do a lot of work since I retired, kind of. So you should all thank them for BSTV still being on. Not probably because he's a D-I-C-K, not to say the word. Still love him. And all the BSTV crew, we had a lot of fun in the chat room. And all the drivers that showed up today. Was great. Thank you, guys.
Cool, mate. Thanks.
Okay, Sam Boo's in there. So let's bring in our race 1 winner, Jamie Wilson. Welcome to the booth.
Hello, I don't hear that very often.
So let's talk about that win. Absolutely fantastic battle with Johnny Brandon there. Backwards and forwards. Could have gone any way. At one point in the race, we thought you'd cracked him. And then he came back at you, and then you two went at it like gladiators again. Tell us about it from your point of view.
Yeah, just a case of we're probably about the same sort of pace at the moment. Johnny's just said, as I'm sure he'll tell you, he's inexperienced in the car. Mind you, I haven't done very much, but I have owned it since it came out. But yeah, he's a bit more consistent than I am, I think. I'm still just sort of getting back used to it. So that's why, you know, when he was behind me, he was able to just claw back the time just through consistency. I was making just like very slight little mistakes. So yeah, it was certainly balls to the wall. You're hanging on for dear life around here in any car, not just this car. I mean, the last 2 corners you don't brake for. You're just how brave are you on the throttle to kind of, is the car going to hang on over the curb, you know, that sort of thing. So it's a matter of who is the most testicularly enhanced around some of these corners.
And race 2, it was a weird incident with Adam, wasn't it? It was like Adam turned in as you were turning in, but because Adam turned into you, that straightened you up and sent you off onto the grass.
No, not quite. So it probably looked like that, but what actually happened was that all happened, and at the same time I locked brakes. And in this car, this car doesn't have any ABS, so if you lock the brakes, you're absolutely going in a straight line. So that was on me. So Yeah, but we ended up sort of making an exhibition race out of it anyway. So
Yeah, we did watch little bits of it, but there was a great battle going on up front. But yeah, we saw you three together, and one would get it wrong, and the other two would wait for them and stuff like that. But yeah, so the car in general, good fun.
definitely, yeah, hell yeah. We have touring cars in the sim that are all right, fine. They're a bit quirky. People have figured out a way of setting them up that, in my case, doesn't really suit me very much, but is what it is. But they're IMSA spec. They've got ABS. They run slightly different to how they'd run in Europe. The Clio doesn't have any of that. It doesn't have any ABS. It's kind of run what you brung sort of methodology to it, because there's not much to do in the setup really in the grand scheme of things. It races super tight, as you've seen. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a shame that I know that you've got the reason for the timing being on a Friday and all this, that, and the other, but it's a shame it conflicts with a couple of other bits and bobs that other people are doing. But I'm hoping we can scrape together enough of a field to then allow it to grow.
Yeah, I think we will. And just to elaborate on Jamie's point, we wanted to do this a whole season ago, but I literally just didn't have any time. My Friday evenings became free, so we went for it. So it is what it is. I'm convinced it's going to grow. And I really look forward to it, because it looks like the racing is going to be absolutely fantastic. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go, Jamie?
Yeah, to Johnny and Adam, because there was.
We don't give shout outs to Adam.
All right, Johnny then.
Yes.
Because that race 1 battle was a kind of real battle, in the sense of that was things on the line. The race 2 one, that when he was a lap down, was a sort of exhibition thing, but it's just him and another driver both showed their class in that, even if it was a little bit sort of non-serious. So it was good fun. And yourselves for putting this on in the first place, because it's just fantastic to have another option that's different from the TCRs to do this sort of racing, and this format fits it perfectly. So.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your win, and hopefully we'll see you back next week when the season starts for real. Jamie Wilson.
That's the plan. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Right, I'm going to bring in your best mate and the guy you tipped to win both races. It's JB Dejoux.
I always tip JB for the win. TCR, V8, it doesn't matter.
Been drinking again, huh, Wobbly?
I actually have been drinking. I mean, I sent the pics. So, welcome to the booth, JB. It looked like a great race. It looked like great fun. Especially the first race. You had a good fight with Scott. Talk us through it.
Oh, that was just great fun. You can't go anywhere in these cars, so no one can run away, and they can take a little bit of a punch in the side, and it's just these are just great cars to drive. So Scott and I, we had a lot of fun. Had an incident there coming in the last turn, but I thought when we came out of pits, he came right back out with me again. I thought we were going to go at it again, but he went right in the pits after just one lap. So I don't know what happened to him. I didn't get a chance to talk to him yet.
Yeah, we saw that fight developing, and then you were side by side. You were on the outside line. Scott was on the inside line defending, and it looked like you moved into the right a little bit, and then Scott at the same point moved a little bit to the left to get the good run on it on the corner. Just one of those things. It was a good fight to see and to watch and to follow. It looked like you guys were having fun. Second race, JB. You were in that scrabble at the chicane, weren't you?
I was. I think it was Rob that was behind me, and I guess his brakes locked, and he went into me, and there was a couple people behind him that went into him, and so. But it was good fun up till then. Lap and a half.
And after that, I think you had a pretty lonesome race.
Pretty much. So, but that happens.
How did you feel that the car was driving? Did you enjoy it? It was like a TCR, or did you feel like there was more in it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I've only when it came out last season for week 13. I drove it during week 13 and just had a blast, and I haven't touched it since till the day. And it's great fun. It's just a great car to drive.
Yeah, it looked like everybody for the field had their fights and their battles. Well, besides from the lap and a half and then the chicane thing. Well, that happens on this small track. It's media day anyway, so nothing at stake, nothing lost, nothing gained. Good to see you having a good fight with Scott, and yeah, I love to see you on track, mate. I love to see you fighting for the win for a day. Just every time,
For
like
a
the
whole
whole
lap
season.
and a half.
Like a whole lap and a half, I like that. That's gonna be in my memory forever.
No, this is really looking forward to it. I think if we get some more guys in, it's going to be that much more fun up and down the field.
Yeah, that's what we think as well. Okay, cool, mate. Any shout outs you want to give?
Just to you guys for doing this. Clyde, thank you very much. I know this is your only night, and swallow up your only night to do this. This is really appreciate it. All the guys that came out, and thanks again.
Okay, cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Bye.
So JB Deju there, cracking guy. So next I am going to bring in the one and only Mr. Scott Malcolm. Are you with us?
Hello, how you doing?
Hello. So first off, nice to see you back. Secondly, let's talk about the races. So it looked like you was having a whale of a time out there on track. Obviously things went a little bit awry in race one. How do you think your race went up until the incident?
I was just dodging away in that guy, and I wasn't expecting miracles or beer out up front or anything like that. I actually love driving this wee car. It's quite fun, and it kind of it suits us older guys, you know.
yeah. I definitely relate to you with the older guys comment. And then race two, especially with the reverse grid there, I think the only way I can describe it is you was on it. You three up there, that win could have gone to any of you, couldn't it? It was some fantastic racing going on there.
Yeah, I was just planning on trying to keep up with Sam as much as I possibly could. But I forgot about what's his name again? Stefan, yeah. Forgot about him. I just seen him in my mirror. I went, oh, right, okay. Where he came from. So I had to one eye in the front, one eye behind to see what he was doing and try to keep up with Sam, and then eventually I just said, no, I'll let him go. He's been itching to get by for about the last 3 laps. So I just let him go, and then Sam made that wee mistake going into turn one, and I just managed to hold it and get around him, and that was it for the then on. Just be consistent, and you'll get the results.
Yeah, and then obviously the drag race to the line between you and Sam, you just managed to pip him. What was you actually looking at anything at that point? Was you looking at your relative screen? Did you have your eyes shut?
I was actually watching a bit of this thing. I noticed he was like, and then I got the call for the spotter saying car left, and oh, damn it.
Well, them sort of photo finishes are always good. What are your plans? Are you planning to do the season with us?
Possibly. It's looking likely that I will be. Friday night seems to be a good night for me for racing, so yeah.
Okay,
well, I might give it a go.
Yeah, I say that sounds good, because it certainly looks like either you suit the car or the car suits you, one way round or the other. So I expect you're gonna have some decent results in the season. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Just yourselves and all the rest of the admins for making this league happen. I know I've been away for a few seasons, but I think I'm ready to come back and give it a go.
Excellent. Well, that's always good to hear. As I said at the top of the interview, it was really, really good to see you back behind the wheel, and we look forward to seeing you next time out, Scott Malcolm.
Cheers, guys. Cheers later.
Yeah, mate.
Right, next up for you. I'll tell you what, let's pick on Johnny Brandon.
Hello, Johnny. Welcome to the booth.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you? How was that?
Yeah, great fun. Great fun.
How did you get on with the car? The first race, it looked like the start was really weird. We saw you and Jamie driving away, and the rest of everybody, like the whole other 6 cars on track, were like, "Yeah, we're not gonna go."
Yeah, I think everyone did sort of iRacing safety of just clicking into gear and put your foot on the throttle. And me and Jamie actually used the clutch, and we disappeared.
It was weird to see, but it was definitely the right approach apparently because you gapped them instantly.
Yeah, it was. I was looking in the mirror, going, "Where is everybody? What's happened there?" But it's literally just use the clutch, flat out revs, drop the clutch like a switch, and it pulls away much quicker than just putting your foot on the accelerator.
Well, place that in the Discord so everybody knows, mate.
I've already told them. Yeah.
Good lad, good lad. So, first race. It looked like you and Jamie were swapping positions the whole time. Was there any particular way, did you try to defend real hard, or was there any plan behind it?
No, not really. It was just having a little bit of battling, bit of fun. That's what this car's all about, I think. So that's why I'm here anyway. And yeah, it was difficult to get past him around there. So to the point that I couldn't. So I was just sort of enjoying myself. Then I thought, hold on a minute, okay, there's not long left now, and I couldn't get past. So fair play to Jamie. It was nice to have a battle. Yeah, so it's just great fun.
Yeah, cool. It looked like you guys were really on a similar pace, and I think you guys put on a hell of a show the first race. So second race, misfortunes happened.
Yeah, unfortunately, my wheel unplugged itself twice.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I was telling Clyde, like, it looks like his car is broken. Oh, wait, and then suddenly you sped up again, and I figured that, oh, that must be the force feedback then.
No, it was that I've got like a telephone cable that plugs in all the USB and all the gear shifter stuff, and it goes into a USB extension. And my wheel did a weird calibration thing yesterday when I turned it on for the first time in ages, where it just span about 20 times in one direction. I had to turn it all off and kill the power.
That seems like a Fanatec thing.
Well, it's a direct drive simulator,
Yeah.
and it wrapped the coil all the way around the shaft and stretched it all and unplugged it out the USB. I thought, oh, so I had to untangle it all. Anyway, now it's about twice as long as it was originally because it's all stretched out. And yeah, just going around the corners there, and if I put more than sort of 90-degree steering input in, it sort of looped over the paddle shifter, and as I straightened the car up again, it unplugged it again. And then I was cruising around trying to find the USB connections and not hit the wall and plug it back in, and yeah, great fun.
Well, okay, fair enough. But you guys did seem to have fun. I know it's a media day, so you guys were, all 3 of you, when you dropped someone, Jamie, you and Adam, it looked like you were trying to get free ride through the whole track. It was just a bit of banter.
Thanks to those guys for waiting for me. It's what it's all about. Bit of fun, bit of racing, and it was a good laugh.
Yeah, good lad, mate. Good to see you on track. Looked like a hell of a car to drive. Do you have any small hints of tips for guys how to approach a setup or anything, or just
there's nothing you can do in the setup.
No, you can only change the tires, right? Like the spring offset spring rate or something.
I don't think so. I think you can change the camber and the toes, but literally all I've done is taken like 2 clicks off the rear camber, and that's it. I'm on the baseline.
Nice. Okay. Well,
nothing. So I don't think anything you do is going to make a big difference in this car.
Probably not in 20-minute races now.
Yeah, possibly. They might. I don't know. I bought the car yesterday, so I genuinely don't know. So I think just the way the car is, it just encourages close racing, and the best thing is take your time into the corners and come out fast, same as every other car, really. But it's more important in a front-wheel drive. So, because you can't correct it with the rear halfway around the corner if you're going too quick or anything. You know, you need to be the right pace into the corner and come out quick, carry the momentum.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah,
I think some of the other tracks, the track list for the series is really good. So it might encourage a bit more door to door and be a bit better than Lime Rocks. It's quite some fast. Most of them are quite fast corners. It's quite tricky to get actually proper racing there. But yeah, looking forward to it. Just hope we get a few more people sign up and get involved.
we're working on that, and we think that we can at least get like 15, and that would be great as well. Okay,
it's
cool,
one
mate.
of those cars that you can just jump in and get good racing.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
not hot lapping GT3s or anything. Just come in and have some battling and do some proper racing and have a laugh.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming for the league. Good to have you in, Johnny. Any guys you want to give a shout out to?
Just you guys for doing it. Everybody else in the league, you know, XVR, yeah, etc. See you next time.
See you next time on track, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Okay, Johnny Brandon there getting his excuses in rather quickly before the season starts. Right, next up, I want to talk to Mr. Rob Venn. Welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Hello. So, the series was announced. You was straight into it. Any regrets, or was that good fun?
No, not yet. It's a good car, isn't it? And then sort of is almost like a arrive and drive type.
Yeah. Maybe your brakes are not arrive and drive though.
No, maybe not.
Cool.
We obviously we've seen that a number of times, and I will at some point put it up on the screen again. But that, you know, it looked like I know probably eventually you was having a fairly lonely race, but when the cars, or especially when you was close to other cars, it looks like the racing is going to be fantastic. And you know, you can't just drive past cars, you've got to set them up, you've got to work out where you're good and they're bad, and try and get noses up the inside, and that all leans itself towards some absolutely fantastic racing to come.
Yeah, because I mean, the series is all about battling, isn't it? Really, I mean, that's the thing. It's all about the close contact stuff and the working out how to overtake and that type of thing. And that's going to be really enjoyable. That's going to be good.
Yeah. So we talked about on the stream. We was talking about the toe. Just going to watch your little incident back while we're talking about it. Was the toe quite heavy in this car? It seemed like I think we see it especially on the final lap of the final race with a drag race between Scott Malcolm and Sam Boozin. Was you feeling the effects of the toe when you had cars in front?
I must admit, I mean, I didn't feel it a lot, but then I didn't have a lot of laps in sort of traffic. But yeah, I suppose it should be quite strong, shouldn't it? Because they're quite low-powered cars and that type of thing. But
yeah, and quite brick-shaped as well.
Oh yeah, they're a shopping car, aren't they? for fitting carrier bags in the back. But yeah,
you know, the season ahead. Be honest. Are you going to practice, or is this going to be arrive and drive for you every week?
I think it's going to be probably arrive and drive. I'll see what I'm doing with the V8s and stuff like that. I think they need a bit more time to practice and that type of thing. I think
yes,
it's a little bit more of a challenge. But yeah, I mean, I think this will be arrive and drive, and yeah, to be honest, it's more around the close contact and the racing and that type of thing. So it should be quite fun.
Yeah, and yeah, obviously from our side, we will be hitting the advertising quite quickly into next week, and yeah, hopefully we can get grids of at least 15 to 20 cars, and everybody will find somebody to race with. But glad you had fun. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Well, thank you for everyone who turned up. I better say sorry to JB because it was my fault. But anyway, the breaking stuff. Yeah, and just everyone else in the team and that type of thing. And you guys for putting it on.
Excellent. Well, always a pleasure to talk to you, mate. And hopefully we'll see you next week at Snetterton.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, Rob Venn there. So that just leaves your other bestest buddy, Adam Wright. Welcome to the booth.
Adam Wright, welcome to the booth. You are the worst driver I've seen in a couple of years, mate.
I know. You won't find any argument here.
What did you do on qualifying? Because it didn't really look like you were particularly slow in the race. Or was it just...
No, I was rubbish. I was rubbish in practice, rubbish in quali. So about, well, we have 15 minutes for quali. So about 10 minutes in, I just hit the ready to race button because I was going to be last.
Yeah, we saw you were last. Yeah, that was a good job.
Yeah,
You did a good job of getting last.
I have no idea what to do. You know me, it'd take me probably a good, I don't know, 8 hours before I figure it out. But yeah, in the race it's okay. I can follow people then.
So how was the race for you? Because like in the first race, I can't really remember. You came in like 4th, 5th?
No, first race I was thought I'd hold it around the outside of Sam in turn 1.
Oh,
and,
yes.
You know, you just don't want to do that there, do you? Well, you do, because I managed it in race 2, but yeah, you can look like an idiot quite easily on turn 1. So, and then Sam was absolutely laughing, you know, he was almost crying of laughter, and then I heard he crashed straight away. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that must have felt good. Yeah, I reckon you had a laugh about it as well. So race 2, you were fighting with this media day, so just gonna pretend that Johnny wasn't like 3 laps down. You were fighting with Jamie and Johnny. You guys seem to be waiting for each other the whole time. How was the close combat racing? Close combat racing, that's how we call it.
That's why we're all here, let's be honest. We don't care where we quali, we don't care. As long as we're in the pack, you know, and even if you're in the front, you want a car right on your ass, you know, that's what you want. And so me and Jamie had already come together, and I waited for Jamie, and then we started the lap, and then Johnny was waiting for us. So yeah, we just had fun, you know, learned the car. Good for me because those two were quick. So just got a better feeling for the car and had good fun. Yeah.
It seems like you guys had a lot of fun. So next race, are you gonna be there?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm sure the V8 guys are gonna hate me because I won't be on Friday officials, but yeah, I know. But I think they tried to get it going on a Thursday, so if they can do that, I'll do it on a Thursday. But to be honest, I hope we can get a few more drivers in here because I think, you know, this with even like 15 cars would be fun, but if we can get something like 20 cars with just Clios racing around, the calendar looks brilliant as well. So yeah, hopefully we can get a few more and just have a whole pack of Clios flying around.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, good to have you on track. Good to see you go off track as well. I like
you'd
to
enjoy
see that.
Yeah, I thought you'd be having a whale of a time because I went off turn 1 3 times and I was slow. I've probably your best night, I'm guessing.
No, because you still made it to the finish line.
Okay, I will fix that next race, promise.
Okay, that's good. That's the spirit. Any shout out you want to give, Adam?
No, just me. Awesome, me.
Awesome off the track.
Yeah, exactly.
Good to have you in the league, mate.
Cool. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, so that is all of our interviews over, Wobbly. I must admit, I even though there wasn't many cars on track, I thoroughly enjoyed that racing, and I think as we've said numerous times throughout the broadcast, a few more cars on track. It's going to be one of those that you just don't know where you're going to point the camera next because there's going to be so many battles going on. What did you make of it all?
The racing was intense. I think that for a media day, especially Lime Rock, everybody's new in a car. Lime Rock is perfect for that. You get a lot of battles. Everybody knows the track. But like looking through the whole calendar, there's all tracks people love. Where everybody's good at, and you can see that with a little practice, Adam for example, you're still able to keep up with the quick guys, even though they definitely are quick. and that's gonna be a blast. Looking forward to the season, to how it's gonna unfold. It was even hard to keep up with 8 cars, let alone that we have 15 or 20. It's gonna be chaos, and yeah, well, let's be honest, we all love a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a bit of chaos. And, at this point of the evening, normally we would be giving our driver of the evening. Obviously, it's media day, so we're not going to give any points away for it. But if we was voting for real, who would be your driver of the evening?
Then my vote would definitely go to Stefan Goebel.
And do you know what? That I would have totally agreed with you. That would have really disgusted me having to agree with you. But yeah, I Johnny and Jamie obviously had pace, but the little mishap in race 2. But yeah, I think Stefan, fastest lap in both races. Yeah, I think he did really, really well. It just leaves us now to close this media day. If you want to sign up for this series, please go to our website. You can join our Discord from there as well. Obviously, we race again next Friday at Snetterton on the 200 layout, which is always quite interesting because in my eyes, and Snetterton is my local track, it removes all the boring bits. Yeah, I think that's going to be absolutely fantastic, and hopefully people watching this stream will join. People that drove tonight and really enjoyed it will tell their mates about it and they'll join, and all the people that looked at it and thought, oh, I don't know if it's for me, will see what the racing has been like, and they will sign up as well. First of all, thanks to Pete for helping me get everything set up from a broadcasting point of view as well as a league point of view. Thanks to Wobbly for agreeing to join me in the booth each week so we can trying to think of a nice word to say. I'm just going to say laugh at the drivers when it all goes wrong. And a big thanks to the drivers that have signed up so far and the drivers that turned up tonight and put on a fantastic show, even with just 8 cars on the track. Also, a big thank you to everybody that joined in on the chat. I always say it, we really do appreciate it. And we can't see everything that goes on, and it's really handy when you point things out that we should have looked at or should be looking at. So thanks for that. I shall say goodnight, let Wobbly say goodnight, and then we'll close the broadcast and we'll go again next week. So thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you all stay safe, make sure you sign up, and it's a good night from me.
Yeah, so good night, good thanks to all the drivers, and yeah, if anybody ever doubts to sign up, just sign up. There's nothing to lose, and if you go off track, we'll laugh at you. That's fine. Good night, all.